first episode. I mean, you know, we go ahead and introduce ourselves. Who are we?
Roy, let's go first. You know, Roy Hall Jr., you know, and people are like, man, why you put the junior in your last name? And, you know, I just take pride in my name and taking it further. I think sometimes, you know, I see a lot of cats with the third or the juniors or the second on the back of their jerseys now, you know, but for me, it's a little bit more important, man. I come from a lot of challenges in my background. Mm-hmm. Dad has some challenges, but I know that junior gives me the momentum to take my name to another level.
Right.
And so it's the opposite of a movie. You know, the sequel in movies, you know, Friday after next Friday, they never as good as the first one. Coming to America.
All the Fast and Furious joints.
Well, I mean, no, the action just keep growing, but it's still not the original. What I'm saying? And so, but from a name standpoint, if you the second or you a junior, you can flip the whole thing around. You could look at the original and say, these are the mistakes that we made, or these are the challenges that they had, or this is the foundation that they built, and now I can build on top of it and take it to a whole nother level. So, executive director of the Driven Foundation.
Shouts out
and,
to Driven.
We've been rocking and rolling for 12 years, man. Me and Antonio Smith, former Ohio State Buckeye, and just really serving the community, doing our best to use our platform to make a difference. And then for the last, really, I've been doing it for about 10 years or so, but the last 2 or 3, I've really been digging deep and trying to take the motivational speaking, the inspirational speaking, the purpose-driven speaking to a whole nother level. I mean, some people can say, hey, motivation only lasts for so long. You need inspiration, or you need strategy, you need systems. I think they all go hand in hand. You do need somebody to come and get in your ear and bark the right things to get you to go to the next level. Right. And then you do need people that can take that information and go to another level. But I'm the guy that's gonna come in and get you fired up a little bit and get transparent to hopefully share some stories that and some things that I've been through as a professional, just in life, to hopefully encourage you in that particular moment. So, you know, that's what we're doing, baby. Using our life, man. I'm using my life, you know, and really maximizing it. You know, I've really been heavy on, you know, understanding that every day is a gift, man. Tomorrow's not promised. And really not the cliche part of it, but living it. Like, if I need to be exhausted every day when I go to sleep, then I know I was giving my all that day. Yeah. And so a lot of times people think that they get tomorrow, but that's not the truth, man. So yeah, that's what I'm about, brother.
I always tell people, man, like, it's if it's one individual in this world that can motivate me, man, like, it's my brother right here. Like, and I ain't even gotta be able to talk. Like, it's gonna be something he posts, like, literally will touch me. I listen to something, I'll be like, all right, it's time to go. And so to have somebody who you know, who's actually living what he's talking about, you know what I mean? I've heard you speak countless times, but it's like every time that man open his mouth, I'm in the building, like I'm in chill, I got chills, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to run through the brick wall, right? And so I love you for that, you know what I mean? I try to tell you, you know, as much as I can, you know, how I appreciate you and keep going, you know what I mean? And you know, despite what you may be dealing with or go through, like, bro, you have a gift, you know, and it's special, you know what I mean? And you know, the world ain't the same without you. So I appreciate all those gifts.
No, I appreciate I don't really like the flowers, but you know what I'm saying?
Got to give them.
Know, but I'll take, you know, a bag or something afterwards. Just go throw me a couple dollars or something. You know what I mean?
We got that.
They handing out the flowers. You can get 12 roses at Kroger's for like $12. Like, nah, don't give me no flowers. Give me some money, man. Stop playing.
Got the flower money. Got the little flower money joints.
I appreciate the love, man. Like, that's real. Like, just listening to you say that, man, like, you know, we always say when we speak, because, you know, we all get a chance to speak in front of people. But you never know who's listening, and you never know how your words are impacting. And that just goes with what I just said. Like, you know, you get up and you sharing your gift, like it's not even yours. You know what I mean? So you say, you got a gift. Absolutely, I have a gift, but it ain't mine. It's God's gift. He gave me the gift, and it's my job to open that boy and expose it. And as long as I'm using it for other people, like, I got to use my gift for somebody else. I'm not using my gift for me or to create wealth or whatever it may be. And it's cool because when you get people that's your brothers, you know, and I love y'all too, that believe in you, it give you a different type of freedom and confidence. Yeah. Because we can always look to to the who's who on the major platforms as speakers or athletes or entertainers, and we can look to them for inspiration, but it's a whole nother type of bond and power that you get when somebody that's right next to you that may not be necessarily in the same lane, but y'all going in the same direction.
Absolutely.
That can rock with you like that. And so now, if I know, like, if my brother is rocking with me, it don't even really matter what the strangers are saying, because the people closest to me is getting the gift, and that's who's supposed to be getting it.
Absolutely.
And and then it gives you confidence when people don't believe in you, because you got the people that don't know you that will completely try and cut you down, or you got people that do know you from how you used to be, right? And that's the biggest thing. Like, you know me from 5 years ago, you know me from 10 years ago, and if you still judging and criticizing me based on the mistakes or the errors or how you knew that I was 10 years ago, that means you stuck in 10 years ago. And so me and you can't vibe anyway, so you're not gonna be feeling what I'm doing right now.
Yes.
And so that's the evolutionary process of just growth and maturity, where you can move forward and do what you've been called to do. And sometimes your calling has a cost. And sometimes that cost is relationships. Sometimes that cost is you having to give up friendships. Sometimes that cost is you having to give up an old dream and move on to something new. And just to see people like stay stuck where they used to be in their old dream, like, and that's where it gets kind of shaky, man. So I appreciate you saying that, man, because on the other side, like, you inspired me, and that's how it's supposed to go. Because to watch how you and Keith have been able to rewrite the narrative on inner city athletics and community athletics and this city's athletics is crazy. So you guys literally you are changing like, I don't think you guys understand how big what you guys are doing. Like, straight up, like, you got 2,500 plus kids inside your program. And every time they step foot on the field or they get up on the track to cheer, like, every time they get an opportunity, they get closer and closer and closer to not being the statistic. And so you've literally given them an opportunity to make a dream come true. Like, 2,500 destinies, not only it's multiplied, everybody that they're connected to. So if these kids go through, what, y'all got 90+% retention rate since 96. Listen, you get a 96 on any test. I don't know if Keith got 96 on no test.
I mean, he got a Kentucky State shirt on.
He got the Kentucky State.
You know what I mean?
Right?
But we're not too sure about their academic.
But think about it though, like, every kid that comes through the program that can get closer to their dream, they get more confidence. And so now when you say don't do this or don't do that, they're more likely to believe you or to not make that mistake because they know what's at stake now. Right? And that's the thing. I don't want to make a mistake because I know what's at stake. And now it's all the people I'm connected to, and then Coach DJ, Coach Kim, all these people, all my coaches, they done gave me this opportunity. I don't want to let them down. So they go on to do something great, and then that's going to impact their families and their cousins. Now, me going to Ohio State, bro, trust and believe, I have family members and cousins like, oh, I want to go to school now. I want to go to college now. I might take this high school thing serious now because I see what Big Cuz is doing. And so you got 2,500 people literally in those kids that you're changing the trajectory of their life, and everybody that they're connected to. And that's a different type of power and different type of responsibility. I'd rather have 2,500 kids that I'm overlooking that's going to continue to grow than to give me 2.5 or 25 million for me to go invest in. Because if I invest in these 2,500, I can change the world. My 25 million is only going to change my bank account. You see what I'm saying? And the fact that you've been able to do it from grassroots is just awesome, man. So that's definitely amazing.
I appreciate that, man. Absolutely. I always say, man, proud to be born and raised in Columbus, Ohio, right? Like proud. Like, you're proud of something. Like I'm proud of that, right? A lot of people grow up, they move away for whatever reason they may move away, right? Like, but I hold it close to my heart. Like, people know me. Every other state I go to, I'm repping. OH10.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 614. Spend some time in the 216. You know what I'm saying? I'm still repping, even though Cincinnati think they really from the South. You know what I mean? But we still Ohio, man, right? And there's some pride that comes with that. So, born and raised Columbus, Ohio, man, and I was fortunate enough, to be raised, by a great mother. Have some great people around me, man, and had a lot of opportunities to steer in the wrong direction. And I wasn't perfect, but I think that what I was able to do was really have some solid foundational, pieces, built into my life, right? And which allowed me to, again, take my career to the next level. Went to Minnesota, a D1 scholarship, and ultimately ended up getting kicked out, right? Like getting kicked out of college was one of the most trying times in my life, and I don't think about it often anymore, but it was a time and period where I used to think about it so much, because it's always like, well, what if I didn't? What would this be like, right? Like my daughter was conceived in Minnesota, right? So it's like, what would have happened if that, like, would she be like my mind used to just ride out into multiple different ways, man. And it was a pre-trial hearing that I had, and I remember going through, and man, they were trying to paint me, and they were trying to paint me to be this individual that I just wasn't. And I remember it was raining, and at the time, I was staying. They had kicked me out of the apartment up there, so I was staying with Marvin, my little cousin that was staying that was at Minnesota. I was staying in his place illegally too, because I wasn't supposed to be in there. They didn't want me on camera, but I was sliding there, staying in there. And I remember just walking out the house one night. It popped on the news, and it just gave me a bad feeling, man. I feel like up to that point, I had been dealing with it in a great way. Hadn't really been showing like no true emotions. Everybody, oh, you handling like a champion, going through it. And I just started walking, and I just started crying, and I was just like crying and crying and crying. And I remember going back to the house. So I had stored this little pistol I bought. I stored it at a young lady's crib, and I remember going to get it and walking back out the house. And she was like, "What are you doing? Like, what are you saying?" I slammed the door shut, and I walked back out. It was raining like hell. And so I'm walking past the football facility, and it used to be that bridge that was by the practice facility. I'm walking up under that bridge, and I was like, I was fully convinced that I probably gonna take my life that night. I was fully convinced that, I really didn't want to live no more. You know what I mean? Like I get teary-eyed just thinking about it. You know what I mean? Because it's
too early in the episode.
It's a place that you really don't want nobody to be at, right? Like when the world and people are trying to paint you to be something that you're not, and you feel defenseless. You feel like, man, like I done worked my whole entire life for these moments, and it's like people trying to take it away, and it's like it gets real. And so I remember calling my pastor back at home. Never forget, called him on the phone. I was sitting up under the bridge, and he was just talking me through it. And he was just talking me through it. And at that point in time, my family had got wind. I guess my pastor was calling my mom. They was calling my cousin. They were trying to figure out exactly where I was at. And I just needed some time, bro. He talked me off the ledge, bro. But I had, still today, I don't think I've ever cried like that, like ever. And it just was a crazy feeling. So going through that moment in college, leaving there, right, being incarcerated for a year, getting out, and that really changed my life there. We could dive into that, but a little bit later. But then actually leaving there, getting back into school at Bourbon University, a D3 university in the state of Ohio, after that, having some NFL opportunities where do we take a chance on them? Then I went and failed 3-4 physicals. Getting flown in, full body fit, the scans, everything that you're doing, man. Yeah. You're there waiting for results here, and no, we ain't gonna sign you. Get shoulder this, right? And a lot of people don't know I was supposed to get surgery on my shoulder at the end of my sophomore year, and I didn't do it. And if we kicked out of school, shoulder healed kind of crazy, and that's just it healed. You know what I mean? And so, but that was the hand I was dealt, man. End up, being, grateful for the opportunity to play arena. So I went and played arena for 5 years, man. Played for the Cleveland Gladiators, went down and played in Orlando for Orlando Predators. And that probably was the best thing for my life at the time, because it was something that's still inside of me that felt like I wanted to go out on my own terms, so to speak. But I had learned some valuable lessons while being locked up, and I was still searching for my purpose. And so as I started to come into my own, I knew that the AFL was short lived, but my mind was 5 years down the line from now where I really wanted to be. So at the time, I was just using football to help build back up my name and my reputation and get back to the community, etc. And then it clicked on me like, you know what, like I want to work in professional sports in the community relations field. And so at that point in time, I ended up, talking to the Cavs folks like, yo, this is what I want to do. And so I made a seamless transition from playing right into the Cavs organization, Cleveland Monsters, and Canton Charge too, and where I was able to be a valuable asset to the team, so from there, man, was able to come back to Columbus, was looking for an opportunity, came back, was the director of football operations for the Columbus Destroyers, and at that point in time, me and Keith really started to reconnect, and we had connected before that, but we really started to reconnect, and was like, yo, like, let's build this thing up from the ground up. So this planning for Legacy U was really starting to be in place a whole year and a half before we even dropped. Yeah. You know what I mean?
What I love about what y'all doing and how y'all doing it is, like you said, you like, what do we want to do? And y'all kind of like laid it out, and then y'all started making moves to get there.
Yes.
So while y'all training, y'all in the back of your mind, like, no, we need our own facility. We need the football.
Right.
We want to do this. Like, y'all already know where y'all going. But even the things that you're doing at that moment still seem big. You know what I mean? And it still take work. But in your mind, you always like, this is what we working towards. I think a lot of people miss that. Like, they like, yo, I want this right now.
Yeah.
And so they go all the way to the end. For sure, I got the big dream, but they never take the moment to have that same enthusiasm and energy on what they got in front of them right now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, let's just make what you have excellent right now. Like, I remember, when you all you had was some nice kicks. Now, Keith got on some fresh whites. You always stay with some fresh whites. I
He
think
stay with the fresh
like
shoes
that's
on.
all. You know what I'm saying? You can't hide money.
He can't hide money.
And so, but I remember when your fit might have been trash. But you got some fresh, but you got to make sure they stay fresh. And you might only have one pair for the whole year. Right. And I think that same mindset is what you're talking about. Like, this is what I got right now. We're going to perfect this. It's going to be excellent. This is all we got is training kids. We're going to make this excellent. But just know, my jeans is coming next.
Yeah.
And then my shirt, now I got a jacket, now I got a chain, now I got watch, and then you just keep building your fit. And so now, like, when you step into a room with your fit, you're like, oh, okay, he put together now.
Yeah, absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? And that's kind of where y'all moving to.
Yeah. I don't know what, me and DJ, again, we're brothers, so I ended up hitting him up, again, I was in this place where it was just a one-man pack, right? And I needed somebody, because of the way I am, when it comes to public relationship, I needed somebody to help be a face.
Right.
Like to be able to speak when they need to speak, and I can just do what I need to do in the background. I don't have to change nothing about myself, as far as politically, what I'm saying?
Sure,
I don't gotta be this person, right? And, I hit him up, and just so happened he's working on something that's pretty much the same thing as the Massey Academy, just further, it's further into it.
Yeah.
Like, I wanna do a class where we teach athletes about financial literacy. This and what was it? What else was it? Real estate. Yeah. Just teaching them about credit, things of that nature. And I'm just like, like, we could do this. And again, this is where we're at today with Legacy U. And again, it's still a work in progress, but we've made a lot of progress in a fast amount of time. But I take that back to a moment where, that year and a half, we were developing this vision. It just didn't start. We just didn't start out. We was like, we gotta know what we're doing in these moments that we need to hit. And we had that call today, and I kind of sat there and listened to him talk. And I was just like, you don't know how much you're doing while you're in the moment, and you usually don't know about this moment until you're further down the road, right? Yeah. And I think that's one of how I try to live is like being in that moment and enjoying that moment right there, because you look down the road, it's 15 years down the road, and you're like, oh shit, we done forgot more than we remember.
I think what's dope about what both you guys said is, if you bring it together, you mentioned like turning like basically a negative into a positive, but there's a process in doing that. And so like the way that I visualize it is, sometimes like that negative is just like a slash through, left to right, right to left, whatever it is. That when you see a minus sign, a negative sign, that's the piece right there. And everybody get that. It might slash through your dream. It might slash through your momentum. It might slash through your confidence. It may have you feeling like you want to take your life. It may have you feeling like you want to get on the street. That's that negative side.
Yeah.
But in that moment, you don't realize how much, like, so it's a line. It's almost like a wall, like a ceiling coming down on you, right? And so what happens is the positive comes through. And this is so dope, bro. Like, the positive comes through when you down and you like trying to hold it up, and then once you punch through that boy, right? See what I'm saying? Like when you holding it up, when you holding it up, it's coming down on you. So you got this beam, this negativity beam, this negative line pushing you down where you like, and then all of a sudden there's something inside of you like, bro, I'm about to punch through that boy. As soon as you punch through it, now watch. When you punch through it and you going through it, it's a snapshot of you going through it and the pieces is on the side of you. And if you take a snapshot, it's gonna make a plus sign, dog. Like right in that moment. Like, but that's the part. But the breakthrough is when you stand up. You know what I'm saying? When you like, I'm not about to allow this negative circumstance or things not going my way to eliminate me in my life. You see what I'm saying? And once you realize how much, because you really don't know how strong you are until you got to be in a position where you got to like push something that you can't, where it feels like it's way too heavy. Yeah. Like those are those ones where you see people lift up a car when they loved one is underneath it, or somebody run into a house that's burning down, and you're like, why would they do that? They just get that adrenaline rush or whatever it may be. But those are those moments that you're talking about where you like, man, I'm about to, and then you just punch through that boy, and you're like, okay. And you're like, if I can get through that thing, and then when you come up out of it, you realize that it was just like a little cloud over you, and you get through that boy, you're like, oh, he doing what I'm doing. Right. Oh, he doing what I'm doing. So exactly what we talking about. Then you bring it together. And that plus sign is that addition, man. Like, y'all better together. You know what I mean? Y'all bring two different things to the table, and you need that. You know what I mean? That's dope, bro.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So for you, I guess, is, you know, you make it to the NFL, right? How many years did you play?
Well, I mean, technically speaking, probably like 3.5, 4.
Yeah.
I was 3 with the Colts for sure. Mm-hmm. And then I had a little coffee break in New Orleans for about a summer, and then had 3 games on the practice squad with the Lions. Yeah. My first year with the Colts, blew out my shoulder, running down on kickoff. Second year, had a knee surgery, and missed 14 games. And they didn't even put me on IR, it was crazy. So missed 14 games, came back, and then the next year, same knee, same problem, had season-ending knee surgery. Then came back the next year, healthy, got released by the Colts, got picked up by the Saints, went down there, tore some muscles in my hip, had to rehab that for 3 months, then went and played in the UFL for 8 games, then got picked up by the Lions, was on the practice squad for 3 games. They didn't re-sign me. Then there was an NFL lockout, so I ain't get no calls. Then I went back to the UFL, tore my hamstring, bro, and it was like.
So when was that click moment? Like, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to take it to.
Well, the hardest part was, you know, once you realize that everything that you've been working for your whole life is done.
It's done, bro.
And it bothers me to my core to listen to, and it's one thing that when I'm talking to educators, we have to clear some things up. Like, don't tell the students, don't tell my athletes to quote unquote have a plan B. Focus on whatever your dream is. If you really want to make it to the NFL, you're going to do everything you possibly can to get there. That's including your education. So if you tell me you don't want to go to class, what you're telling me is that's really not your dream, and we can stop talking about the NFL, the NBA. We don't even have to have the conversation no more. But if that's your only dream, chances are we know the statistics. We know that they're going to go pro in something else. We know that. But if I get a young man and say, I want to go to the league, okay, I'm going to tell you exactly what you got to do. If you're not willing to do these things, and you really don't want to go to the NFL, so stop telling me that's what you want to do. Right. And so we're going to find what you need to be doing because you really don't want to go there because you're not willing to do this. And so for me, I always had in my mind, I need to have a plan B, and that included getting an education. But when I needed my education, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do football. You know what I mean? I wanted to play football. It was who I was. It built me, like everything about it. And so now my plan B is trying to figure out how to cope with not having it. So that would be my first plan B for anybody that want to go to the league. Like, when you can't do this no more, your plan B should be figuring out how to cope with and deal with not being able to do that no more. Because there's nobody else that has to go through that.
Yeah.
Nurses don't have to go through that. Doctors, not at 25, not at 23, not at 24, not at 30. Like, we talking about we retiring at 22, 25, 26, 28. Right? They retiring at 65 or 60, whatever it may be, when they done did their career for 35, 40 years. We basically get an opportunity to do it, and nobody understands what it feels like to be in that. You know what I mean? Like, just to go to Ohio State and play there, like, that was crazy. But to go to the NFL and to be in a position where you like, I'm one out of 160 NFL wide receivers on the planet. I'm one out of 160 out of 7.8 billion people. Come on, man. Like, when I had a dream of doing it, it was 7.4 billion. So you do the math on it. 1 out of 160 out of 7.4 billion is 0.00000000216. I know that because I'm from Cleveland, so I remember that number. But that's a fraction of a fraction. It's almost impossible to do what I did, and I got there. And people will judge you for not balling out. Right. People will judge you for not having stats. People will judge you for only having one catch for 9 yards in your career, Roy. Like, yeah, but I got one catch. I was there, bro. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it was almost impossible. You see what I'm saying? And so when I got done, Keith, you like, man, what's your click moment? I didn't have a click moment until the first time I opened my mouth and I realized that God was doing something in me when I was speaking. Yeah. And I was like, because when you speak, like, I don't even consider myself, by title, I gotta call myself that. But like, I'm representing what God wanna do in my life, straight up, period. Facts. Period. So it's gonna come out aggressive, it's gonna come out, so my personality, like, my primary personality characteristic, or however you term it, is like passiveness. Like, I ain't trying to fight, I ain't trying to argue. I'm trying to have the peace. I want it to be fair. You know what I mean? I want us to all work together. Like, bro, I ain't got no beef. Like, I know what you heard. It ain't that. They talk, like, come on, man. It's like, I can kind of see it. Like, you know what I mean? Call it discernment. But my second is overly aggressive. And so it's that push you, flip out. Yeah. And so I gotta like constantly like, all right, look, what you going, because you gotta, because people are trying to take advantage of you when you the dude that don't want to step up and fight all the time and step up and do this and do that. And so when it come out, when I'm speaking, that's what you getting. Like, you getting me almost, and I'm talking to myself. Like, so they like, man, you talking so real. I'm literally talking back to me. Right. You know what I'm saying? So like, it wasn't like, it was a, aha, I want to do this. Like, not from a speaking standpoint, that was the evolution. I knew that I wanted to use my life to give back to the community since I could remember. Mostly in college, we walked into a hospital room, this gentleman who was about to pass away, hadn't talked, moved for maybe, 3 days, whatever it may be. He had his niece sitting next to him at the right over here on campus. And we walked in as freshmen, redshirt freshmen. And it was 3 of us. We had our red sweat Ohio State fit, and we would go in and visit different hospitals and different things. And we walked in, and this gentleman was there. We walk in, hey, how you doing? Go Bucks, whatever. And he was kind of looking like he was asleep. And she was like, oh, I wish he was up. She's like, oh, I wish my uncle was up. He loves you guys. You know how that is. I don't know if you know that in Minnesota, but look, in Columbus, we love you guys. You're everything. And so we was on our way out, and he like coughs and like wakes up, like one of those like, you know what I mean? You're like, yo, like, I mean, if he did it today, it'll be like, man, it's a COVID cough.
It's a COVID cough. That's a COVID cough.
And so we kind of went back in the room, and he was like, I mean, bright-eyed, like these shiny lights that's on us right now, like, yo, Roy Hall, like, it started calling us out, like, I ain't caught a pass. I'm redshirting this year. You know my stats, know where I'm from. He knew my city. He called us all out one by one. And we all was from different, one of the cats was probably from Florida. We all over. And so we sat, just kind of talked to him for about 10, 15 minutes. And he talking about, man, they shouldn't have redshirted y'all. Y'all should be playing. And it was a dope conversation. I started realizing the power of Old State at that moment. Mm-hmm. Man, we left, went to some other rooms, whatever. Man, by the time we got back to the facility, bro, like word got back around. My man passed away.
No.
Like was up, alive, and then gone. And it was in that moment, I was like, this life is not about me.
Wow.
It's not, man. And this O State thing is not about me. And so, although I had a lot of challenges at O State, like even staying healthy, I got hurt my senior year, I just knew, like, yo, there's more to this whole Scarlet and Gray thing than just going to the league.
Yeah.
And so when I got to the league, me and Tone, like he played DB at Ohio State, you know, and I played receiver, but we both was in with the Colts for our first year together. Both had shoulder injuries our first year together. Mm-hmm. And me and Tone didn't even rock like that in college. You know, the DBs were the DBs, receiver, you know, you with who you with. And but we was rehabbing for a whole like 6 months together. In Indy, we had the same agent, both went to Indy our first year, and that's when we started putting stuff together in motion with the Driven Foundation. But I knew, like, I wanted to figure out a way to leverage that. And we started off with, like, yo, for real, bro, we started off with, like, a football camp. You know what I mean? So we had, like, a camp in Cleveland and a camp in Columbus, but it was, like, this lady, so the 2 click moments was that moment, but then there's also at the football camp, this lady, probably 65 years old, walked up to me, and she looked like she was having some challenges physically, too. And she was like, I got 5 boys here at y'all football camp. We had about 300 kids there. And we had the who's who of the NFL, former Buckeyes, and she walked up and she was like, hey, how you doing, young man? And you were talking to me, and I'm doing well, man. Thanks for being here. She said, I got a 15-year-old here, a 12-year-old, 8-year-old, 7-year-old, and a 6-year-old, because we had a full age range camp. And she was like, I'm raising them by myself. Their dad got killed, their mom's in prison. And she said, I'm struggling with just the day-to-day. Do you guys have any programs that help families like me out with like food and clothes and stuff like that? And at the time I didn't. I was still caught up in doing the football camp to make the kids feel good, and that's dope. But I didn't really think about when they go home, they ain't gonna have nothing there.
Yeah.
And so we turned the table on what we was doing before. It was like, how can we start giving back from a food standpoint and like basic human needs? And we just grew our organization from that.
Yeah, that's dope. That's live. Like, and I mean, I've obviously been rocking with y'all for years, but you know, just to hear some of the stories that actually led, you know what I'm saying, to what y'all doing right now, and to see how far y'all come. Like, let's not. I mean, Roy gonna be modest, you know what I'm saying, but like, let's not make like Driven has put on for the city for over a decade now going, and so y'all have delivered over how many pounds of food?
Man, 1.25 million a day.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like,
bro, I hit y'all with this too, because I don't think y'all understand. Like, what we doing is so unprecedented. It's actually 10, 20 times, 100 times harder than trying to make it to the league. Like, like when you literally trying to like change people's lives that you don't know, there's absolute strangers that don't know you from nothing, and now you gotta somehow earn and attract their trust to where they will listen to what you have to offer them and allow that to be the reason why they try and go to the next level.
Yeah.
I'll take it a step further, and even from a support standpoint, you mentioned, I mean, we've been rocking for over a decade now, but think about how ridiculous this sounds. Inner city black kid, raised by a single parent, wants to make it to the NFL, don't really have no resources, no training, right? But you trying to go to the league. Okay, that's how I start. Somehow, some way, by the grace of God, I make impossible dream. Let's go for it. Get out the league, and then say, I'm gonna start a nonprofit organization with no understanding, zero understanding of what it means to have your own organization, other than somebody told you should start a nonprofit. That's the only information you got. You don't know how to work a board. You don't know nothing about minutes. You don't know nothing about voting. You don't know nothing about fundraising. You don't have no connections. You have absolutely nothing. And you say, I just want to help pretty much people below or at the poverty line. Majority of it is going to be inner city black kids and their families. You want to help them, but you got to figure out a way to get white people to give you money to impact inner city black kids that they never gonna see or hang around or be about. You know how impossible that sounds? Like, you know how insane it sounds that I gotta get somebody that don't look like the kids that I'm about to try and impact to give me their money for me to impact them. And the only way that I can do it is if I earn their trust to be able to do it, to give back to these kids. It's almost impossible. Like, it don't even make no sense on why I would do that. And why we would do that. And so when people look at me like, what are y'all doing? Like, and then I start thinking about where the Ohio State NFL thing comes into play. Because more people supported me specifically early on before they knew who I was, knew my character, knew my heart, based on what I did on the field. And so I'm thinking like, I'm at Ohio State to play ball. Really, that was getting that stamp from the Lord. Boom. Here you go, universe, boom. God, here you go. You're going to be a Buckeye. You don't even know it yet. You're going to make it to the NFL. You don't even know it yet. Why? So that when you get done going through that, it's going to give you some credentials to be able to have conversation with people that love that more than they love anything else.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's going to put you in a position to be able to make a difference, man. But what all of us are doing, hey, I got 2,500 kids and most of them look like you. You see what I'm saying? And I need y'all to figure out a way to allow us and help us build up these kids right here. Yeah. Right? It's almost an impossible dream, bro. Impossible, dog.
It's definitely impossible, and which is why we are doing this COC conference, right? Like what we're doing, at this COC conference is showing that the whole collaborative effort amongst Black men, right, which is still unprecedented to me because we stay in the city, especially in our culture, man. We just show, it's this crabs in the bucket mentality that we have. And what we're showing is that, regardless of what we all got, we all gonna come together and for the beneficiary of everybody else in the city. Like, we're gonna come together and show you that we can collaborate, all right, and we don't have to compete. It's the collaboration over competition, right? So obviously we got the COC conference that's coming up. We giving out a wealth of knowledge, about a multitude of things, marketing, branding, you talking about real estate, you talking about anything, mindset, credit funding. I mean, you name it, we're gonna tap into it, right? And again, Black people, us men, like, we don't come together, bro. Like, we don't come, like, it's so many dudes in the city that want me to hate DA, bro. Like, literally, like, oh, you rock with DA? Like that's like, yeah, hope, like, yeah, like, that's my dog, like, that's my people, like, we're on a text-to-text basis, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like, I've been on that man's house, right. You feel me? You feel me? Like, but because we both train kids, our city automatically, they rivals, they got to be hate each other, right. They can't help. It's like, nah, like, even if Hope Fitness got 250 kids, 300 kids, 400, 500 kids that they training, and Legacy, you got 300, 400, 500 kids that we training, that's still not even a fraction of the kids out here that need the help. Nah. Even if Grab That, another trainer in the city, even if he got it, even a Slow Grind, Keith, who else, right? Like it's a multitude of them out here. It's like, even if all of us got 500 kids apiece, it's still not even a fraction.
Here's what I know, bro.
That needs it, bro.
Here's what I know.
It's insane.
The owners of all the NFL teams at the NFL Combine, they all kick it with each other.
Wow.
They all hanging out.
Well, I think that goes back to, again, man, as being Black men, a lot of the time we grow up inspired by usually like 2 or 3 people. We're talking about some rappers, entertainers, or sports players, right? Yeah. I'll always tell people this, man. I've been more inspired by people that I really fucking know than those people. I don't really know those people to understand like what they've been through, and I'll have real life stories told to me. So when you talk about a person like DA, I don't have to say a negative word about him. I actually worked out with him. We've done these things together. We know each other, right? I'm more inspired by what they do. Now, and can we compete in a way that's healthy? Yes. Yeah, I want to be the best fucking trainer. I want to be the best doing whatever field I'm in. I want to be the best at it, right? And I think a lot of the times with us in our community, being the best means this person is obsolete. He can't exist, right? And we can't coexist. And I think what that COC conference is going to do is more so is going to inspire people to be like, man, we all, and again, I'm probably the best looking, but we're all some good looking dudes.
And if you like the nice little beard with the sponge look on top.
Exactly. Again, good looking black men all seem to be pretty healthy, coming together to motivate and just give some knowledge, a wealth of knowledge to our community. Like that's gonna be more inspiring than anything that the conference may offer. Yeah. Because again, man, if you choose me to do something with you, you choose the next person, and people continue to see that. Just like anything negative, positivity is gonna be like that,
Yeah, I think that, you mentioned, you was like, I want to be the best, but you're not competing with a person, you competing with yourself.
Exactly. The desire.
You see what I'm saying? Like that ain't even got nothing to do with nobody else.
Got nothing to do with nobody else.
Yeah. And so like now all of a sudden, once you get out the mind, I don't even know where the mindset comes. I know there's some people that's just going to be listening and can see this, hey, it gets traced back to this, and I understand it. But it's designed culturally in the society for us to hate each other, to want to discredit each other, to divide each other. Mm-hmm. And we need each other because it's always like that. It's not until somebody dies that the person that was beefing him or his arch rival or biggest nemesis is coming back like, for real, I respect the dude. Like, I just allowed this to come in between us. Somebody said this, somebody said that. Those two men never had a conversation. They never reconciled. And once you start, the older you get, the more you like, bro, that was stupid. Like, we was young, like, we made a mistake. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Because we'll give other people more grace than we give the person right next to us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we have sports agents and financial people and people that might screw you over in business, and you might be like, all right, they might loop back like, my bad, man, here go, 10 bands or 20,000 or here go $100,000 deal. You're like, all right, cool, I can forgive you now. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? You won't give that grace to your homie, like, you know what I mean? And sometimes it's just youth. And so at this conference, though, it's more than the game that we given. It's really just illustrating and actually putting it into words and the action. Like, no, we actually do this. Right. Like, we can come together and do something together. Like, there's no reason why y'all need to go outside of even our 15, 20 people closest to y'all to get whatever information you want on this couch. Yeah. Like, it ain't no reason for us to have to go get a big time celebrity because we all celebrities in our own right. And we got the information. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing. If tomorrow y'all on, I don't know, Oprah call y'all on their own network and y'all on that interview, bro, I'm not like, man, I was just sitting on the couch with these dudes. These dudes, they didn't even give me a water with no label on it. Now they going Oprah or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not about to even do that. It's like, oh, we on Oprah. Because I already know it's 4 dudes that y'all just yelled out that I ain't never even heard of this training kids that now they, you know what I mean? Why? Because it don't matter. Y'all not my competition.
I have to constantly remind myself or be around those people, be like, bro, they don't understand your vision. Like, they're not supposed, you know what I mean? But I still sometimes, bro, I get into a space, bro, where I do get upset, right?
Sure.
And like Hov just said, I don't play tennis with cats on the internet.
Right.
I see the comments and shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I don't respond.
Right.
I feel like it's beneath me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I know my heart, bro. Like, I know it's pure. I know our hearts, right? Like, I know what we trying to do with the COC conference. Like, and so, but it does get to you sometimes, right? Like it literally does.
Roy, but he's gotten to the point to where sometimes where I'll be like, I'm turning into the voice of reason, and I'm just like, I want to be the motherfucker that can be like, man, fuck these motherfuckers, man. You know. Yeah. But again, you kind of touched on it earlier when you talked about the judgment that comes with it, right? And that's why I'd be like, I used to. It wasn't a confidence issue. It was just like I just didn't want to be judged. You know, I wanted to have my fuck ups and you not be able to see them, me be able to change it over, and then it's like nothing ever happened, right? And it's just like it's impossible to do that now. So you gotta be able to listen to the ridicule, to see the comments, you know, and some are addressable.
Bro, you can't find one great man in the Bible that people ain't hate on that was just trying to do good work.
Yeah.
It's just the way that the world is set up. Like, it's set up for us to be destroyed, bro, and to destroy each other. You know, people think that, you know, like the devil was all powerful. And it's like, if he was that powerful, he'd just kill us. But for real, he not that strong. But what he can do is say something to you, get you to say something to make you kill yourself.
Wow.
Right.
And we do that by putting out his energy. And so when I find myself like even in a situation where that energy is like I can't even take it. Like if I feel that energy, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna just smother him out with love. Like I'm gonna confront it. Like people will call me out on stuff, and I won't combat with them, but I'll just be like, man, you right, man, much love. Like I'm gonna just give you love, and they can hate even more. And that's it. But I have to keep flooding that out, because if I allow it to get in my heart, eventually it's gonna come up out of me. Like, man, you know what? One day I'm just about to go nuts. Like, nah,
wrong
like,
time, wrong place.
Like it ain't even. It's not even necessary, man. And so, like, you know that you on the right path when you getting that type of hate. Like you almost know it. Like when ain't nobody saying nothing about you, like you at their level. Like you right where they want you to be. Like, all right, we can talk. But when you start trying to elevate yourself, you like, cause your perspective. Now, here's the thing. We get a new perspective as we rise, not so we can feel like we're on top, but so we can have a better perspective of who is quote unquote in need of help. The higher you get, if you at the Ohio State football game and you sit in the press box, bro, those are the best seats. You can, as a football player, you can see the whole thing unfold. Like this dude is wide open, and can't nobody else see it. The people in the front row that's right there, they can't see what's going on down there. They can only see right there. So God will elevate you to get to a point where you can see all this stuff. Wow. So that you can go back down literally on the sideline and say, this person right here needs help. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, the other thing that it does, though, is the more you get elevated to the press box, now everybody else is going to turn around and look at you. Like, how they get up to the press box? How come they get the food up there? How come they ain't out in the hot sun or in the rain like that? And so that's where that energy comes from, because they want to have that position. But as you see them people turning, watch this, y'all turning around looking at the press box, but y'all missing the game. You see what I'm saying? Y'all watching what I'm doing and who I'm trying to impact. When if y'all just look at the game, the way that I'm looking at the game, y'all gonna see it's a problem too. And we can just work together. That hate is gonna always come. That's the energy. But that's the energy that gotta remind you literally like, oh, I'm right on the right path.
Yeah, it's something
I'm right where I'm supposed to be.
It's something that you said too. Like I had a homie, street cat, that told me always operate from a bird's eye view. Yeah. His is like, if you can't separate yourself from what
street dude.
Yeah, like if you can't separate yourself and take it out and be able to look at the situation as a whole, you're gonna miss something. You're gonna make the wrong decision. Yeah, that's crazy. And I think that's a lot of my life. I try to overthink something, or I think about it enough to where it's like, all right, separate your feelings from this. Like I feel a certain type of way, but separate yourself and be able to look at it and really understand what's going on.
Yeah. And it's crazy too. I think about like our community, bro. Everything that we've been doing thus far, right? I'm pretty sure you dealt with it too, right? Like, bro, we are two people. You and Tone, two people who are building these mega brands for the most part, right? Mm-hmm. Doing all the leg work, social media, marketing materials, showing up at everything, shaking hands, right? Like people don't really know, but like this is a day-to-day grind, right? Doing a lot of things that you ain't getting paid for, right? A lot of hours, right?
Hey, like being on this show. Go ahead.
But you actually gonna get paid. My God. We actually
baby.
You actually get one on check, man. You know what I'm saying?
There we go. Sponsored by, I don't know.
It's gonna be like versus, man. We're gonna get this check later. We're gonna come back around to the time, man.
And so I think about this, right? We are the you know, I've had people criticize us so much and say, you know what? I'm taking my kid, or you know what? I don't want to deal with y'all no more. Mm-hmm. After we are, you know, listen, we empathize.
Sure.
That shouldn't have happened. We apologize. We're gonna do better next time.
Right.
That ain't even good enough for people in our community. But my thing is like, you let Amazon deliver a package late. It's okay, because you can go to Amazon 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more times. Amazon can mess up one package and be like, oh well, I mean, it was 2 days late. What you want us to do?
Right.
There's no patience for the black entrepreneur, the black company owner. Bro. There's no patience for us. And you know, I think even, you know, you run a company. You see it. And I just be like, sometimes I gotta laugh because I know, like, if I was on the other side and I was a white person, you wouldn't have had this reaction.
Bro, I've supported people. Yeah. I supported people who didn't deserve my support, bro, and I still do it, bro. Yeah. I see a lot of bullshit T-shirts, a lot of, because everybody think they're a clothing designer, right?
Sure.
Like,
I actually am though.
Yeah.
I actually am.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Okay, but you know, a lot of BS product that's out here. I support because I understand what it means to have people that you are around and people that you affiliate with or talk to or just like, man, I just want your support, bro. Like, because I've been in those situations, bro. Like, I've been in those situations, but it's like, bro, you don't even deserve my support. My other thing is like, after you get my support, bro, like, treat me like you would treat any other person, bro. Like, if I spend my heart on, I ain't asking for no discounts from you. Right? Like my product is legit, right? Like my price is what it is because of what I'm bringing to the table. My value is here because I'm not asking you for no discount. I'm gonna pay you what you want for your product, bro. Do the same in return for me. You know what I mean? Yeah, like do the same because you ain't walking up in Louis.
Apple or Louis.
Raise them up right quick because I like these.
Come on, man.
Can I do that?
I mean, you can. I mean, it's just, you know.
Woo!
It's a little.
Listen.
You know.
Bro ain't walking in Louis asking Louis for a discount on these because
Louis either.
Don't even matter.
You hurry up so I don't have to wear the Louis.
You know what I mean?
Wear the keys.
You know what I mean? You gonna wear the key like so I just be trying to understand this with our community sometimes, man. And this again, it's our people, the same people that'll build you up, and the same people that tear you down.
Yeah.
The same, they're like literally the same individuals because especially in our city, and I'll say like in our city where I'm from, it's almost like, well, I went to high school with you.
Yeah.
I went to high school, like I know him. Yeah. So I don't feel like I should have to pay this product. I feel like I should have to pay the top value for it because just because I know him. Yeah. It's like, no, that's not how it is.
The perspective is you just flip the words around. So, you know, people that build you up or try and bury you. But it's the opposite. It's really what buries you, builds you. If you look at your life as being a seed, you know what I'm saying. So the more dirt you throw, the more I'm. All right. The more you throw on me, that's cool. I'm getting a little bit lower, and then because when I burst through, bro, like you can't stop that.
Can't stop that.
You can't stop that. And then what I'm about to produce more of me through more seeds that I'm about to just float and, you know what I mean? Like that's what weeds and stuff come from too. It just be stuff in the air, just land in your grass and like it just develops over time. And next thing you know, you got like dandelions popping up in your yard. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But the positive is the same way. Like, you know, like I'm gonna just keep putting out this energy. You got watch this. Y'all can hate all y'all want. We got 2,500 seeds that's just out there. And guess what they gonna do? Keep producing. And each one of them got on a legacy U hat and they got that U on their chest. And y'all can't do nothing about it. Mm-hmm. So even when you mad at me, you gonna keep seeing me. Even when you don't see me, you gonna keep seeing me. That's the cool part about what we do. Like, no matter where you go, you gonna see somebody with a Driven Foundation shirt. Like you could hate me, but you gonna see Driven somewhere, and you ain't. Or you just keep. I say this all the time. Don't search out and don't look for recognition. Allow God to reveal you. Don't look for recognition, allow God to reveal you. Watch this. Or you sitting at home one day and you chilling and you like wearing nice clothes and nice suits and you end up on 614 magazine in every major store, whatever. You ain't asked for it, you ain't looked for it, but it's like, okay, I'm about to put you in a position to reveal what I've been working on in you. And so now it's time to show people my part of my finishing of my product. You see what I'm saying? Wow. And so when those things happen, when you like, man, I'm making my life about other people. I'm gonna keep doing this. And again, people that's mad at you and hating on you, they gotta keep seeing you. Yeah. Like you can't that red you, like they can't you can't deny that. You know what I'm saying? You just can't. You can't. Man, DJ, he ain't doing it, and you see a little kid run by, and then it do twofold. You gonna hate on the little kid for wearing the Legacy U shirt? Yeah. You gonna be mad at the kid? Yeah. You know what I mean? Or you gonna be mad at the dude that got the kid that's happy and gotta come on, man. Wait to this. This is my dream for y'all. This is my dream for y'all. Let me hear this. They going through Sunday night football. They going through the Ohio State University, Minnesota University, and then you're gonna have that kid, Legacy U. You know how dope that's gonna be?
Yes.
You know how dope that's gonna be? Legacy U. Because Cass is calling out elementary schools, middle school. Legacy U.
Cass calling out hoods. It's all kind of.
Hey, and that's the one right there, bro.
To say, you know, you talked about the impossible.
Yeah.
You know, to even think about that 2 years ago, it'd be like, maybe not. But right now, I can see it happening.
Man, y'all graduating
I can see it
class
happening.
or two away from that, bro.
Yeah.
Like Legacy U. They're like, what Legacy U? Somebody gonna try and figure out what's what. You know what I mean? And that's where you know what I mean? Like, okay, All right, that's dope, man.
No doubt. We can jump in one of these boxes. Let's
The black box. So we got these like pick'ems, right?
Yeah.
You know pick'ems.
That look like a Pearson Pagoda box.
You get that from, Keith? Where'd you get that from, Keith?
You don't want to know what came in here. Anyways. But nah, so we did a pick'em, right? Basically some hot little topics, this or that, right?
All right.
Could be a person, could be a thing,
I'm
a
not
place.
sure I understand.
Of course. But listen, so everybody's gonna get a chance. We got about a couple of
She
in
don't
there.
understand, 'cause I
She don't understand.
it either.
We don't
Nobody
understand.
does.
Just open up the
Just
box.
open
Right.
the box.
All right, let's go. So we all gonna pick one.
Okay.
All right, DJ, you go first.
All right. First one.
Just pick one, man.
Let's see. I'm gonna pick one.
Get a little bit more of this bourbon.
Ha! Bourbon or tequila?
Oh,
Bourbon or tequila? This is tough for me because it depends on the occasion. Depends on the occasion. I mean, am I going Casamigos? You know what type of night that is. Or my bourbon cigar. You know what I mean? And my bourbon cigar, if I had to do one, I gotta go tequila, man. I gotta go tequila over. I love my bourbon, I gotta go tequila.
what's your favorite tequila?
So,
Corzo. I love Corzo.
let me just say this. I used to love bourbon chicken. I don't know where it is now. It used to be in all the little food courts.
Okay.
Down here, it probably was at Eastland. For me,
Probably
it used to
so.
be at,
Eastland.
Like Richmond,
It's still
Mall,
there,
Randall
yeah.
It's still
Mall,
there.
back in Cleveland. But we need some bourbon chicken. So you got the bourbon. So that part is just the fact that it's bourbon chicken makes me. But like my man The Rock is like doing this thing with the tequila.
You
You
understand?
know what I'm saying? Like, and if I ain't just lose 30 pounds, like I was trending that way. I was kind of swole, you know what I mean? Bro, I was 272. Not like bad, you know what I mean? I saw Keith one day and he was like 255. I'm like, damn. You know what I mean? So like, you know what I mean? And now, you know, like I got some abs back. We ain't got no beaches, so it don't even
Sorry,
matter.
we get to them though. We get to them.
But the Rock and his tequila, I like his branding. I like everything about it. It's a little bit stronger. So I'm gonna just pick tequila just because of the Rock.
And I like 42 too. You know, we a little expensive side, but that 42,
Yeah.
you know. But go ahead, what you gonna go?
I just think again, man. You know, I spent 7 years of my life in Kentucky, right? So I know like some of the stories about bourbon, how it's aged and how it's done. It just never tasted good to me, right? It just tasted as it just never was like that thing. Like it literally tastes like a barrel to me.
Yeah, there you go. That
You
makes
know,
sense.
but tequila, I just think like I've had the worst of the worst nights on it, and I've had some of the best nights of my life
I had some
drinking
best
tequila.
nights. I had some good nights on tequila.
You know,
Great nights.
I know Casamigos is a thing right now. I don't even know how good it tastes for real. But again,
Are you
man,
Reposado, Enejo, or
I'm a Reposado guy.
Oh, you
Some
Reposado.
Do you know
smoother.
the story behind Casamigos? Y'all know the
no?
story?
What's it?
George
It's
Clooney?
George Clooney's. Do you know the
Hey,
story?
well, yeah.
I know
George
he
Clooney. I
sold
know
his
the story.
shit. He sold his shit, and his 12 or 11 closest friends, he gave $1 million to, right?
Nah, that's not. That's one of the rumors. The real story is basically they went on a trip together.
Yeah.
And they was hanging out, him and his homies. Let's call it 6, 12. I can't remember how many. They was hanging out. They was kicking it.
Yep.
They got drunk on some random tequila. One of his boys is like, man, we should make our own liquor. You know, great drunk idea.
Yeah.
And they didn't really make nothing of it. They go to the crib. Apparently, like a week or two later, Clooney hit them all up like, yo, I'm sending a jet. We all gonna go to Mexico. They go down to Mexico for like a week. Meet with all the like tequila specialists, so forth and so on. Come up with their own tequila just for themselves.
Yep.
Like, just gonna be for us, we're gonna give it to our family members. Their family, oh, yo, this is good. They got their Anejo, Reposado, and their Blanco. Oh, this is great. So they, hey, man, you need to send this to your people. Miami, LA, you know what I mean? They start distribution. Next thing you know, it hit. Bro, like, they was like that for like 6 months. This is about 3 years ago. And then it just caught fire. They put, apparently, allegedly, they only spent like 200 grand. Wow. And then they sold it for 750 million.
Yeah, so he confirmed it in a GQ
Oh,
magazine
man.
I was reading. He confirmed that he did that Like, he gave him $1 million. Maybe it wasn't for the Casamigos, but that's
he got
crazy.
$450 million off the deal, so the other 300 went towards his peoples.
Man,
because they all came up with the idea together. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. That's insane.
That's fly get the jet, man. Get the jet.
Good time, Pickle.
Uber black.
Oh,
Pickle.
Shit.
First of all, why you fuck these things up like middle school? No. Man.
Will you talk?
Yeah, you like me? Yes
You
or
like
no?
me? Yes or no?
Oh, this is easy. Say O State or that team up north. So I'm on O State. Ohio State, baby.
He said, he had a Ohio State or team on. What you leaning back for? What you saying?
So listen. No, listen though. I'm gonna tell you how I get to Ohio State, right? So like, listen, I grow up. My little brother and sister's dad from Detroit.
All right.
So my introduction to football, before I was a basketball player.
Yeah.
Before I start thinking about football, it's the game, 96 game, Charles Woodson, David Boston, right?
Okay.
I see this number 2 guy, he plays for Michigan.
Oh.
He's going crazy. I'm like, if I ever play football, I want to be like this, right?
That guy.
I want to go to this school.
Yeah.
You know, and at that time, I'm not thinking about what you spoke on earlier, what Ohio State, that badge of Ohio State mean, right? Roy, I'm going to, as I started getting recruited in high school, I'm going to these camps. I even go to the Ohio State camp. I ball out.
Yeah.
They're like, we want to interview you.
Right.
Like, tell us your top 5. I say a top 5 that doesn't even have Ohio State in it. It has Michigan in it, of course. So, right?
Remember what he said about bigot parents not knowing what questions to ask and.
Right, but this is why Legacy U is needed, right? Because again,
Hung himself.
I'm still not knowing. I didn't know that Ohio State was like, again, and the fucked up thing about it is, so I get recruited to Michigan, right? I gotta go for a trip, right? Go to a camp. They're like, if we give you a scholarship offer, you gotta play corner here. I'm like, no fucking way. I'm a receiver.
Yeah.
No way. Still got love for him and whatnot.
Yeah.
But again, it comes to a point where, man, after the Minnesota debacle, all that shit happened. I go to Texas Southern for a month.
Okay.
And the first Ohio State game was on, right? It's a bar that's dedicated to Ohio State fans in Texas.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not until I come back home so I start feeling like more pride in home. And it's just like, you know, like Ohio State, maybe I should have put more of my thoughts in, like, I wanted to go to school there, you know. And again, now it's definitely Ohio State. But I don't dislike Michigan.
And it's waves too, right? Like it's like we up right now. Ohio State is up, but you know the '90s it wasn't that way. You know,
Nah,
so
it wasn't.
Right. Bro, just pick one, bro.
Of course I'm for the whole team. I'm a Buckeye, right? Like in terms of I root for the home team in every sport, right? What I'll say is though, you know, went to the Nike All-American camp, and that was held at Michigan that year.
Yeah.
Was going one-on-one with Mario Manningham, going crazy. Me and him, they kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. He catch one, I knock down one. I'm talking trash. They like line up again, right? Me and him going back and forth. The last rep, we get into it. We going at it, like we start fighting and all that stuff. I'm like, they about to kick me out the camp. And so we end up going, breaking lunch. They're like, hey, coach wants to see you in the office. I'm like, oh, I'm about to get sent home.
Right.
We go to the office, I walk into the offices, it's Manningham. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm definitely like kicked out.
Right.
Lloyd Card time come in.
All right.
Listen, you all right? Yeah, good. Okay. Listen, offer both of us right there on the spot. I'm gonna offer both of y'all. And so at the time, I'm like, cool, like, I'm going to Michigan. Like Charles Woodson, Marcus Ray, the Marcus Ray, the GOAT from Columbus, Ohio, right? Like, I'm going to Michigan, right? Blue and gold, I played for the Sharks, blue and gold. Played for Brookhaven High School, blue and gold. I'm like, this shit's destined.
Yeah.
Right? Like, thought I was going to Michigan, man, but, you know, Minnesota came around, had other plans for us, offered niggas like 10 scholarships for everybody. So it's like, that's what we doing. But through and through, man, I'm a Buckeye. Like, Fickle was my guy, still is my guy, man. A lot of dope relationships built from there, man. And so a lot of brothers from there. Ohio State. Go ahead, Keith.
Let's see. Funny, it's Drake or Kanye.
Oh, man. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I'll go first. I mean,
go ahead. Yes, go ahead, man.
I like both of them for sure. I love Drake's music, of course. We talk about being inspired by rappers or just these famous people. I'm more inspired by Kanye than anybody.
Get to the answer, bro.
Of course, it's Kanye for me. You know,
Kanye over Drake.
Kanye over Drake, easy for me. Just
Easy,
because of not music. Of course, Kanye makes good music, but just what he's been able to do, and it's been to the beat of his own drum. Yeah. And again, like I couldn't imagine making some of the mistakes he's made on that main stage like that because of the judgment that he get. Yeah. But it's also inspiring too to see him continually bounce back and continually be the front runner for everything fashion. You can say what you want. I hate his clothes. I hate his shoes. Every brand, from low level brand to high level brand, jocks and shit. Yeah. Maybe puts it out and does it better, but he's at the pinnacle of where something that I want to do for for a living, right? So I would say like easily.
I don't know how you feel.
So So like me and Keith and like almost direct alignment. I got a little bit different perspective on. I think Drake is the dopest in regard from a music standpoint. I think he's the dopest in understanding everybody. His album, he got stuff for the trap dudes, he got stuff for your girl, he got stuff to listen to in a hotel, he got stuff to listen to on the beach, he got stuff to listen to in Jamaica, stuff to listen to in Amsterdam. He got music, and when you listen to the whole thing, he got a dope system. He got songs where he's singing, he got songs where he being vulnerable. I mean, Drake is like that dude. Yeah. I can't compare him to Kanye because Kanye's on a whole different situation now. Yeah. And when I listen to Kanye's album, I can bounce around a little bit on a couple tracks. He got 27 some tracks, but bro, I can get saved off Kanye album if you're really paying attention.
If you're really paying attention,
Kanye, Come to Life is rich. Like bro, Kanye got people on Come to Life speaking in tongues, dog. I'm like, bro, who, he said, I made Jesus walk years ago. Everybody talk about their faith, but Kanye the only person that's been able to take it and just do it in such a way where people don't even know what he rapping about. If you just let a young, and so it's so above. And every time Kanye puts something out, ain't nobody feeling it because it's so far ahead. Every time he puts something out, then he bring hip hop with him to a whole nother level. Sonically, just everything. And so Drake and him make great music together. I don't know what happened while they beefing and all that, but I can't compare them because I just think they on two different lanes. But if I had to choose, just from a faith standpoint, and then I love Kanye, last but not least, before you go in on Drake. What Keith said, and we talked about dreams. If everybody said I'm a football player, but then I'm I want to be one of the leaders in the city in the nonprofit space, and they nah, you can't do that. Mm-hmm. And then I'm nah, I'm also gifted to be able to speak and motivate. Nah, no, you ain't got no degree in that. You can't. Who made you a speaker? Nah, I want to be one of the best graphic designers. People don't know how graphic design. Nah, that ain't what you do. But everything he touched, bro, fashion, billionaire, rapper. You can't rap, I'm a rap. You can't produce, I'm a produce. You can't make the heartbeats on the Open and Donda track, my mama's heartbeat track, and people are oh, this is stupid.
Where the fuck does that thought even come from?
Where does it even come from? You see what I'm saying? So his courage, bro, to be himself. I don't have that. I'm being 100. I don't have the ability to always be and do and flow like I want to, no matter the consequences, even if it's gonna make people hate me, I gotta do what's in my heart and what I'm charged to do. And I'm gonna do that's a superpower, dog. Drake, love him. I'm gonna throw in Drake on a road trip before I throw in Kanye, but cause you vibing in different things. But if I gotta choose an album, from the last two, then I'm taking Kanye.
But that's the thing and this is, you get to go, you can get your turn. But we kind of struggle with our back and forth sometimes because I love being myself no matter where the fuck I'm at, right? Yeah. And for us and what we're trying to do, I can't do that, right? All the time. So I need him. Yeah. I literally need him to be able to have that on and off switch. You know, I don't have it. And I'll never will. I don't even want to have it because again, I want to always be myself, like in that unadulterated way where it's just like, man. And again, I know being me and who I am, it comes with a lot of judgment. People like, oh, he cussed too much. So the fuck what? Like, listen to what else I'm saying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And again,
like
man,
your parents cuss too much too, right?
Exactly. But again, where you talk about, man.
Why you talking about my man? Like your mama, you just heard your mama cussing.
Right. But it came from me. Or while we're training, I'm cussing and it's just like, man, listen, I'm not cussing at your son. I'm just cussing when I'm talking to him.
Yeah.
He done heard worse.
Yeah. You know, from you.
But again, that's where it says, like, bro, like, I want to be able to walk into meetings just like this and you like that. Because I feel like you're more like this than you are when you have to put on suits. You know,
but it's a dope art. Cause I'm with you on the other side. I gotta do both. You gotta be. I love doing behind the scenes stuff, but I love doing your side too. Like you gotta be. It's a finesse to it. It's an art. It has to be trained. Yes. You gotta work on it, and you just gotta understand how to work with people. You know what I mean? Like, and it's interesting. So you're a Drake guy. Just get into it. You're a Drake guy.
I'm a Drake guy.
Yeah.
Give me Drake.
I love Drake.
Are you really though?
Drizzy.
I knew you was gonna pick Drake because we have some really like we have this is one of the issues sometimes where I'll be like, I don't really want to talk to you about this because I can't get fired up. Like he'll hit me in my DM like I don't fucking know him.
Can I talk?
Like, bro, like why are you
Can I talk about Drake?
I done posted something.
Can I talk about Drake?
Roy, this
Can I talk about Drake?
It's hit me in my DM like he's a regular. Like, like, bro, why the fuck are you trying to talk to me? Like, call me on the phone.
You post the most ignorant Kanye shit. Yes, you post the most ignorant Kanye shit.
Why you mad? Why you mad? Listen.
Because
they both dope.
Listen.
I'm just saying
they're not beefing because they had a little fake beef.
Kanye when you got come to life. So
listen, man, when you're a billionaire like them, they ain't beefing, man.
Yeah, they're not really mad.
They ain't really beefing, right?
Geniuses. They
marketing geniuses.
Kanye's a marketing genius.
Yeah.
Kanye did a listening party in 3 different places.
That's legendary.
With 40,000 people on. It was a listening party.
I went to the Atlanta one,
and people was mad. Like he didn't even say. But when was the last time you went to like even local artists, like they have a listening party?
He went.
That's what I'm saying. That's good. You just listen.
Listen, bro.
Like what y'all think of the track? Hear my music. All right, take it to the head. Then he went back to the lab. I'm like, nah, it's not quite ready yet. I'm gonna go. Like,
well, I would say that. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, and I know, like Kanye said, you want the Kanye. Listen. Give me like I fuck with right?
You sound like people hating on you.
Okay, well I take it.
I don't want
that's
I want the old DJ. I want that guy. I want the Minnesota one.
Well, go watch the film.
Yeah,
go watch the film.
What'd you say though? Even OJ was so far ahead of.
Oh, for sure.
808s and Heartbreaks came out, and then
can I say I respect Ye? I respect him.
All right.
Like I genuinely respect Ye for his creative art side of it, like he's on a whole different stratosphere in terms of missing what he thinks. Yeah. Like you can't take that from him. But also,
bro, he was married to Kim Kardashian for 7 or 8 years. That's like 50 years. Like it's like dog. Like everybody said it was gonna fail. He got 4 kids with Kim. He dealt with that family for 7 or 8 years.
And you know how he said we can't talk about homie. Like I'm gonna meet bro. And I'm gonna meet bro one day, so I'm not saying nothing about it.
I'm not that. Like Kim Kardashian and that family might be, but based on what we see, everybody said that was gonna be terrible. This dude 8, 9 years with her. Come on, man. Like you know what type of pressure that is?
I mean, I think, man.
I'm taking the OVO God. Checks over stripes.
Listen, man. That's again. I'm gonna always turn on some Drake music.
He almost had stripes though.
You checks over stripes though. You checks over stripes.
He almost had stripes.
Almost don't count.
Nah, actually, I'm 50. I'm 50-50.
I ain't never seen you in no Adidas.
You didn't see me in some Yeezys though.
I see you in Yeezys. I see him in Yeezys.
It's the same thing. They straight.
I'm Yeezy or Nikes. I ain't getting Adidas. I got.
You putting that Driven D? You putting that Driven D on the side of a
that Driven D's gonna look better with 3 stripes than a Nike.
What?
They do because of the angles.
What? Because of the angles. See, this is one of the things.
Okay, so
this is the attitude.
I got like 3 or 4 of them.
Let me see them. Put them on. Put them on.
I'll wear one.
Next time I see you. Put on
that Driven. That Driven is already Adidas. The Driven is already.
I'm not putting on no Adidas.
So them 3.
I'm not putting on no Adidas.
All right, get back to Drake. Because I'm not hating on Drake. I'm just saying.
I just think Drake's body of work, right? Like, so you talking about creative and talented.
Don't say it. Come on.
Nah, I just think.
Work?
No, yes, body of work.
Every one of Drake's albums, they're the exact same strategy. That's why.
But no, he said what he wanted.
No.
What's the old Ye? So if Ye stayed how he was throughout these years, as far as music wise,
listen,
it would be fine.
Drake is equally creative in his own right to me.
Sure. All right, fine.
Like he's super multi-talented. He's not just your average rapper, right?
Yes.
Like he's ventured into clothes, brand, like everything. He got the golf shit. You sent me.
That's only because I feel like, I pay attention to the shit that you like, and I'll be like, all right, I'm here. Maybe I should get this from because he plays fucking golf.
Give me. Listen, if you look at that at the man's albums, the trends that he's been able to create, right? I think that he's changed the
What
game.
trends?
Like, hold on. Listen,
What trends?
bro. Listen, musically, culturally, like anything that they can do.
You can't say that. You can't say that a Drake has created some trends when he's literally off a Ye tree. You can't say that.
I ain't saying he's off a gay tree, bro. I'm not saying he's off a gay tree,
bro.
I'm not.
Everything that Drake does is a trickle down effect of 808s and heartbreaks.
No,
You can't say that.
Hell no, bro. Hell no, it's not. It's not, bro. It's
Here's what I know
not.
about Drake. I think dude is probably the most like, cause he just know how to make dope music for a lot of different people. He might have that over, like Kanye make his music and whoever like it. Drake make music for everybody around the world on purpose. Like he has I think his strategy, he got a system. Drake's system is better than Kanye's. Kanye don't have a system. Kanye is just
They call it a sweatshop. They call what Drake does a sweatshop because he understands.
But he understands everything, bro. I don't know. They're my favorite two artists. So
Yeah, listen, and again,
They compliment each
I got a ton of respect for Ye, everything he's been able to do. I think, like, when we talk about best rappers of all time, like, to me, it was Hov. Like, I still stay in that era of Hov. Like, when Hov drops something, I'm still just like, But, like, right after Hov now, it's like, who did Hov pass the torch to, bro? It's like, who's next? Like, it was Drake. Like, it's Drake.
But did Hov pass the torch to Drake, or did Wayne's momentum go to Drake? If Wayne does not go to prison, does Drake blow up the way that he did?
Maybe not.
You see what I'm saying?
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Wayne's momentum when we was on Wayne went right to Drake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
He took the ball and ran.
I guess
He took the ball and ran with it.
I'm able to acknowledge that. If we talking rappers, I'm definitely Drake is an extraordinary
And that's
rapper.
your last one. You gotta make it quick, bro.
What's that?
Make it quick, man.
What's it?
Suburbs of City.
Oh shit, that's the way to end this shit, right?
It's Suburbs of City. We ended on that one. Suburbs of City, man.
So this is what I'm gonna say. Mindset, city. Structure and opportunity, suburbs. Like, you take a city mindset and put him in the suburbs and learn the system, unbeatable.
Wow.
Unbeatable. Period. Can't go the opposite way.
Yeah.
But you can't be like, you can't develop a city. You know what I mean? It's just something in you. You know what I mean? You get that I came from this, I'm fighting, I'm scratching, and you get that person and they get the transfer. That's what the thing about this, that's what y'all doing.
Yeah.
City to the burbs.
Go ahead. You go ahead. I'll close it out.
You can close it out? Yeah. I'm going burbs. And not only, we ain't just talking athletically, I'm talking academically, I'm talking about resources. And I'm living proof because my son attends a suburb school. There's some classes, curriculum-wise, that he's taking right now that no schools offer in the city of Columbus. Things that, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So for me, it's not so much about the game, more so it is about my son being able to operate in a school district, one of the most diverse school districts, right, in the suburbs.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying, in Gahanna.
Sure.
Him being able to get a real glimpse of what the real world is, right? Like, I think, and you can attest to this, we went to Minnesota and we was a cultural shock for us, bro. Like, we was around a lot of white people. Not that we didn't like white people. Like, we love them, actually. Like, they loved us. But it was just like, we just didn't know how to talk to them. We didn't know how to, like, how do we mingle? How do we network with these people? Like, right? And they was looking at us kind of the same way, right? Like, we was weird the other time. Like, y'all weird, right? Like, but we loved them, right? And we grew. But right now, my son is getting a real out-of-body experience, a realist experience about what it is to be in the real world, bro. You got to deal with other individuals. You know what I'm saying? You go to work, like different nationalities. You know what I mean? So I love the experience that he's getting right now. outside of sports. So that's why I say suburbs. For me.
Yeah, I think that's just based on your growth. Like it just depends on where you at in life.
Yes.
Now
yes.
you like you it's just where you start, I guess. What you got?
Meaning, and again, man, this has been a great episode. I've learned a lot from both of y'all. But for me, man, I live in the city right now. I live right in the middle of gentrification. And I just thought that, like, I wanted to run to the suburbs. I do. I really did, And, I had this influential figure in my life. My lady was just like, nah, like, what you do is for the city. Yeah. And being able to be touched by the city means more. And I used to always be like, I feel safer out there.
Yeah.
Because, like, I can walk out my front door, and even though, it's getting gentrified, it's still the hood right here. Yeah. And as a black man, I feel like shit. Motherfuckers see me standing over here, they know that this rent is a certain amount, right? Yeah. Or they know that this house is worth a certain amount, right? So they gonna know, like, this nigga right here might got something that we can take,
right,
or we want,
yeah.
But I'm just like, shit, black man ain't safe nowhere.
Right.
So I could be walking out my house in the suburb, and because my neighbor didn't never seen me before, we ain't never really talked, and I got my hoodie on, right. It's just like somebody's trying to rob over there, right. And that same shit can happen, right? And it's just like, man, I can find a place here in the city, probably way overpriced than what it should be, but because of most of my business doing is here, the things that I'm trying to impact are here. Maybe I stay in the city for as long as possible.
I think it raises a good question, like, because somebody asked me this: can you effectively, and you can probably answer this, can you effectively impact inner city families, but you stay in the suburbs?
Well, the thing is for you is you grew up in this shit, right?
Yeah, nah.
So you know,
for sure. Like, and I get it. Like, and I'll be the first to tell you, I grew up in Mount Vernon and St. Clair.
Yeah,
but I don't want my kids to have to go through what I went through.
And it's a different argument when they say, like, we got cops that police the city, but they never lived here, so they don't know that. You already have an understanding, so you will be like, I'd rather live out there. That's where you say you're well within your means.
My kids walk to school back and forth. Not to say that nothing couldn't happen, but I have a much better peace of mind than my kids walking to school, getting back home every night, right? They ain't ducking on the floor because they hear gunshots or somebody getting their doors kicked in, or like, I dealt with that, bro. Like, I dealt with that, like which is the reason why I put on like we put on right now, why we grind and why we hustle, bro. Because I want my kids to live bread, bro. That wasn't no way to live, bro. And I guarantee if my mom could afford to get me out of what she had me in, bro, she would have got me out, bro.
Yeah, I think that's the connector right there. Like, you wouldn't feel so tied to have to stay in the city if there was a way for people in the city to get what people got in the suburbs in the city.
Yeah.
And so and if that's part of what you feel like is your mission, like, I'm gonna give y'all the information in the game to be able to make a decision to where y'all can live wherever y'all want to. And if you put yourself in a position and you make a certain amount of money, you get the same type of feel whether you're in the city or in the burbs.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you could be in the city and you could decide to send your kids to, like, academy or something, you know what I'm saying? And you're like, I make enough to do that. I stay in the city, but I'm about to send y'all here.
Yeah.
So I think it's like a lot of different ways. That's why I just went from I went more. Y'all took it from where y'all want to stay at. I just mindset city, which is what you're talking about, what you talking about, like resources and all that. I said in like information in the system, I go burbs. But if you can take that system, and if you can create it here, now all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, you open the door.
But that's where things like Legacy U, the Life Skills and Beyond classes, that's where the COC conference comes back into play, and what we're able to offer to our people already that's in the city, right?
That's good.
So then you get that information, you can go wherever with it, right? And spread it around.
I like to be like Peyton Manning was. Peyton had a condo downtown, and he had a house in the burbs. That's what the
best of both worlds.
That's what you want to do.
Well, eventually we'll have a loft downtown. We'll have, and again, I used to always want to get to the burbs, because I just felt like it's safer out there. But again, man, if we talk about it a lot, like, well, not a lot, but if it's our time and it's time for something like that to happen, it's gonna happen. It's already written, right? Yeah. If you a man of faith, you know that. Yeah.
Well, listen, man, I appreciate you.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying, for coming today, man, and obviously kicking off our Legacy U series, man. It's something that's needed, man. But I wouldn't have rather had anybody else in this first episode.
Nah,
You know what I mean?
appreciate
But
it.
you know what I mean?
Appreciate it.